Hi guys, welcome to this new video. Hip pack or backpack? What to bring on a ride? Which one is better for what? And how these two compare in everyday life? This is a question I want to tackle in this video. For those of you new to this channel, hi, my name is Mike. I'm in my mid-40s, living and riding in beautiful Tuscany and taking you along the journey. And my journey so far has always been supported by either a backpack or a hip pack. There are those days where we need to just bring stuff. Be it additional water, because both of them can carry additional bladders with liquids, be it extra energy bars, filming gear, protectors, goggles, whatever it is, light jacket, and so on. And both of them have obviously different capacities, so they're fit for different kind of scenarios. Let me share with you my experience with both of them, because I've been wearing both of them for many years now. The backpack over 4 years, the hip pack over 3 years. And the general question, which one to use for what, and how does they really stack up in daily riding life over time. This video will be structured in the following way. First of all, I will touch base on the fit and the comfort of each one of those. Then I will guide you through the details of each one of them and show you what I like and what I don't like about the particular model, and then give you my personal experience of the past years, which one I use for what and when, and which one you might want to get in case you want to get only either of those. Personally, I am not sponsored by Evoc. It just happened to be that both of my gear are from Evoc because I find them quite comfortable and they have a solid finish to them. They have been holding up really well over the years, that up front, but they have their drawdowns. They are not perfect. So let's go. Let's first start with the backpack. The Trail Evoc Pro 10 is the model that I got, and I got it initially because it has a built-in back protector. Before, I had the dedicated torso protector. If you want to check those out, videos linked in the top right hand corner. I had only this rear protector, and it already was quite cool and gave me a lot of confidence. I did crash on it a couple of times, on the backpack, but it was not so significant that I can really say whether this back protector is as good as any other, but it has a built-in back protector. The fitment or the comfort of this backpack is really good because it has a lot of the straps which secures in place. This hip strap is quite wide, and because it's so wide, it's quite comfortable. And there's a lot of other straps here. You see, you can adjust it in all possible ways. I come to these straps in a second. And there you go. The backpack is sitting very nicely. It's not moving around a lot, and I can move quite freely for a backpack. So I think the comfort is really good on this particular backpack model. Now the straps. All the straps, as you can see, there are like some cuffs and some rings to hold the straps in place so they're not flying around everywhere. And they wear out over time. I lost many of those because when they're worn out and you unstrapped it, the chances are very high that they just slip off and you just lose them somewhere on the trail. Ciao. This one is a little bit better because here's a emergency whistle. But this here, you open it and they're just gone. I got a new set of those from Evoc for free. Cheers, Evoc. They sent to me it on warranty, but also after 1 year or so, all the straps were gone. But nevertheless, this is the only minor downside of the straps, but those straps help to keep it in place and to keep it comfortable. I got this extra helmet net where you can take your helmet and just strap it on, which is super comfortable. And should you have like a long big uphill, so you can just strap your helmet to your backpack really easily, or just a chin piece, because like if you're like me and you have a modular helmet, then you can just use this to carry your chin piece, which I also do a lot. And there you go, there you have your helmet strapped to your back, and you can just pedal up without any problems and without sweating too much on your head. I enjoyed this net a lot. This net was just only 15 euros extra, so for me it was a no-brainer to get it. And yeah, it's a little bit fidgety. You have to take off the backpack and so on, but if you have like one big climb, it's worth it to do it. if you have a lot of ups and downs, it might not be the best solution. So just really quick intro of the backpack itself. Here on the front, it has a big compartment with a lot of small pockets. I put like multi-tool in here, a tube, my energy bar, some napkins or whatever, have some zip ties and whatnot, some emergency gear. Then here on the top we have a small padded pocket which has a nice soft microfiber close here. So I put my mobile phone here or other sensitive stuff like camera gear, maybe small camera gear. And we have a big compartment of 10 liters, which I use to put whatever necessary. You can also put a bladder in here, so you can take additional 2 liters of water on your ride. And you have also a small pocket here for keys and the like, because there's like a ring hole to keep your keys in place. I put some change usually there, my car key, and off we go. So very comfortable backpack. It's I think the smallest one with a back protector built in, but for me, for my personal use, for the things that I carry, the 10 is completely sufficient. I personally would not get a bigger one, and but it depends on what you carry and where you ride. The Evoc Hip Pack Pro shares a lot of similarities with the backpack. The hip belt is quite similar. I think it's probably exactly the same one, and it's the only thing that's holding it in place, so you have to get this one right. But it has this ventilation straps, these blue straps here, which you can like tighten for the downhill or loosen up for the uphill, so you have more air to breathe here. I find them semi-useful. Usually, to be honest, I always strap them tight and just forget to open them on the uphill. Also here you have a lot of straps which you can use to carry stuff, and what I use them for mainly is to carry my chin piece, because I have a modular helmet, as you can see, and I just put my chin piece over here. It's very comfortable. I don't need to take it off, on contrary to the backpack. And ta-da, there you have it, and you can just pedal your way along and have your chin piece hanging off here. I saw people fitting a whole different kind of stuff in there. So for example, I could also fit my knee or elbow pads here, because they have a Velcro strap, and put them on at the trailhead if you have just a one long big climb. So now on the hip pack itself. The hip pack, as the name suggests, probably has only 3 liters in this compartment. It's not great, but just for reference, I put 2 elbow pads in here, and you see it's okay. There's also space for a water bladder. You can put 1.5 liters of liquids in there. I have this bladder as well, and I do use it a lot. And here you have, similar to the backpack, you have a pocket with different compartments. Also this one can be used for tube, multi-tool, energy bars. As always, I have some napkins and some zip ties in here. You have 2 side pockets, and contrary to the backpack one, here you also have the ring for the keys. I also keep some little change here, and this usually put my car key in here, and this one is for other stuff. It's not big enough to carry the phone, unfortunately, so the phone goes in the rear compartment. But the big advantage of the hip pack is that you don't necessarily have to take it off to reach the main compartment. So depending on your fit and how tight you have it, you can just twist it around and, you know, get stuff out, get stuff in. But in general, it sits in place. It's okay. I can ride all day with it, but there is obviously a price to pay. So while with the backpack, the weight is distributed across many pressure points on your body, this one focuses all the weight on here. And it depends on your body type and shape, but I have quite pronounced hip bones here, and also with the riding pants underneath or whatever there is, I do feel some pressure after some hours. So after some hours in the saddle, I start always, you know, to adjust it, to pull it up, to pull it down, to make it wide, make it tighter, and so on. So it is not as comfortable as the backpack. It cannot be. it just have this big belt to carry it. And I really advise you to get the Pro model because it has this wide belt, as I previously had the non-Pro of the very same hip pack. I looked out on the manual and crashed that one. So I got this one Pro because this wide belt does make a huge difference. It only gets really comfortable with this wide belt. Obviously it has also this ventilated back, but hey, you're gonna sweat on your back, let's be real. It's not it will not save you from sweating. Here are also two pockets, like net pockets, where you could put stuff, like I saw people putting water bottles in here. I don't fancy that solution too much because I also think they're kind of tight, but you could put some other stuff in here, which, like, maybe, I don't know, like a scarf or gloves or whatever. Very cool piece of gear, but not as comfortable as the backpack. To make this test a little bit more realistic, this is the gear that I want to take on a ride normally. Some bars, pump and tools, spare tire and tire levers, filming equipment, drone, a light jacket, a tripod, action cam and selfie stick, maybe some elbow pads, and maybe even a goggle. This shall be my test set for this little experiment. Alright, let's start with the backpack, and I have already pre-filled the bladder with 2 liters of water, so it's maximum capacity. Then the way you do it, you just slide it in here. And in order for it not to always slide down, there is this little Velcro here, which you can just use to strap on it. But, spoiler alert, this never works. It always opens up and this ends up sliding down into your backpack. So, nice idea, poor execution. There's a minus point for that. And now let's go packing it. So first of all, I would put my elbow pads. Let's assume I have one big long climb. I want to put them on top. My extra spare jacket. I would have my tripod. I would have my action cam and the selfie stick, camera gear, and the goggles not to scratch them or endanger them in this way. And last but not least, the drone. And yes, we can make it all fit in here nice and easy. And as you might even tell, there is even some room for extra stuff. So let's go and put the rest in, just for the sake of this experiment. Let's start with the tube. The tube is the big chunky part, and I have a very big chunky tube just for the sake of this experiment. The tire levers go in as well. Energy bars. Let's spread them all over these little pockets here. I rarely eat more than 2 on a trip, but who knows. And my multi-tool, aka the EDC pump. Let's say you don't have the possibility to carry it inside your frame or your bike. So we stuff it all up in here, and theoretically it does close. I can fit all the gear inside here. Maybe I could have packed it in a better way, but I can also put some mobile and some other stuff in here. And yeah, it's very, very heavy now, but I made it all fit in here. So what's up with the hip pack? Can we fit at least some of the gear into the hip pack, if not all? For the sake of the test, I have also pre-filled the bladder here to its full capacity, and its maximum capacity is 1.5 liters. Alright, also here there is this little nice strap which you can theoretically use to strap it all in place, but on this one here there is no place to slide down because it's already touching the bottom. So in this case, this Velcro strap works. On the backpack is another story. So now we're left with quite little space. So let's see what we can fit in there. Let's put the jacket first. So I stuffed the jacket in here. Then next is my drone. The drone still fits at the tripod. Let's see if we make it fit. But that's pretty much about it, without endangering any of the previous contents that I put in there. And now we have a little bit of space. Let's try what we can do. Some power bars, obviously. One more. Then we can put the tire levers for sure. The pump won't fit in here, but I put just the multi-tool in here somewhere. Let's put it in here, and that's basically it. But let's make some use of all the straps and all the other compartments around it. So should I want to carry the action cam up to the top for whatever reason, I could just pack it in here in the net, and I could take my knee pad, my elbow pads, and just strap them by the Velcro here and here. And if I really wanted to, I can do the same thing with the goggles, pull them through here and secure them here in some way. I could take it like that. Things I could not accommodate is the full pump, 1 bar less, no spare tube inside here. I couldn't take my pouch, which contains extra batteries, microphone, and some camera lens accessories. Do I really need all of that? Can I solve this in a different way? I don't know, but there you have it. This is the head-to-head comparison. So which one do you want to get and where to use it? Let me share my experience with those and the sequence in which I got them, and this might help you to decide for yourself. First, I got the backpack because in my world, backpack was like the #1 thing, and you can carry stuff. And in the beginning, as I was not very experienced in this whole enduro mountain bike riding, I thought I need to bring a lot of gear. Right, the people were scaring me and saying, you can get a flat, you can get this, the chainmail brake, blah, blah, blah. And before I got all my multi-tools set up and I really knew what's what, I carried, of course, a ton of gear and a ton of unnecessary gear. I mean, it's up to you where you ride, what brakes, about your riding style, how hard you push, and so on. So you might need a lot of gear. But in my case, the time has proven that I really didn't need half of it. So a lot of times in the beginning I was carrying all this backpack full of stuff and also full of water, and also had a bottle on my bike. And even in the very high summer I did need all this water, but in the off season, like now in the winter, it was an overkill. And I took like an extra jacket, which most of the times I didn't need, or I took some goggles and some sunglasses and whatnot. So I had this backpack always full of stuff. Then as time passed, I saw a lot of cool enduro people with just a hip pack, and I said, hey, I really don't enjoy to have a backpack on my back, especially in the hotter days, and I sweat a lot, and I'm really happy to take it off after a ride. So I got the hip pack. And then I said, hey, wow, the first day with the hip pack was so cool. I already knew what to bring on a ride and which ride and whether I need. So I adjusted to my riding circumstances, and the hip pack was pretty sufficient on most rides. And so I got the hip pack, and the backpack wasn't used as much thereafter. And as time passed, I discovered that the hip pack had its drawdowns, and as I just mentioned to you, and so I also start to alternate one or the other depending on what I was doing. But sometimes we do big adventures in the saddle. You might want to check out, for example, our Monte Cimone trip. I will link it also in the top right-hand corner, which was our hardest trip so far. Obviously, for a whole day out in the mountains with some crazy unknown terrain and adventure, I take the backpack. It does serve the purpose, and I can take a lot of different stuff as I've gone from the morning till the evening. In the beginning it's cold, then it's warm, then it's cold again. I maybe need to carry more spares and stuff like that. On tours where I know what's up and that I know that they're going to last 3-4 hours, and if I really do need additional water, or maybe I carry a drone, I have like the DJI Neo drone, and so I need a tripod or whatever camera gear I take along, I take the hip pack. It's less in size, it's less in weight, and if the tour is not over 4 hours, it's all right with the pressure points around the hip. But the best part for me obviously is riding without it. So there you have it. Should you be going on epic big rides and you have varying conditions and you chew through a lot of gear on those rides, then you will probably want to carry the backpack, because you just can take more stuff. It's 10 liters, right? And it has more water. So it gives you a higher autonomy for the cost of more surface area where you can potentially sweat. And also it restricts your movement a little bit more than without it, obviously, because you have the straps, although they are comfortable. And on those days where you go in a terrain that you know, with trails maybe that you know, and you know exactly how big your loop is, maybe you even pass your car on some downhills, then this hip pack should be more than enough. For my local loop, where I know exactly that I'm gone 2.5 hours, I don't bring anything, I stored all the stuff inside my bike. If you want to see that solution, video linked in the top right hand corner, with the help of OneUp EDC tools and the inbuilt frame compartment inside the frame. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you took some value from it. Let me know down in the comments below how you use backpacks or hip packs and which one you prefer for what, and maybe what I've overlooked in this video, and share your experience with the others, because I mean, this is what we're here for, to see what works and what not in this crazy world full of upgrades and full of gear. Leave a like, maybe check out my other videos on the channel, and should you fancy some of those, then you can subscribe to this channel. I want to earn it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.